Tally ho, and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 2 of Hachette's Build the Lancaster Bomber. So we received 1 and 2 today. I'd already picked up 1 in the shop, so we're just building 2 today. We also received, and this is really rather lovely, metal poster. I do like the metal posters. We've got After Me the Flood. Look at that, you can see the bouncing bomb being dropped by the bomber there. Gorgeous. Really looking forward to this one. Now this looks fiddly as hell, but I'm down for that. You know, this is to be expected. So I mean, this is a good one as well. You're not too far in yet, so if you're thinking this is way too fiddly for me, you've got time to back out, haven't you? But don't, man, stick with it. Stick with it. Come with us on the journey. It's going to be fun. At the end of this one, we are going to be having our first, I haven't named it yet, we have our Titanic talks and we have our bat chats. I don't know, bomber banter? I don't know. We're going to be talking about a lot over the next 2 years with regards to not just the Lancaster bomber. We're going to talk about other unique weapons of war. And some of the battles that took place. At the end of this one, what we're going to talk about, and I really don't want to teach Granny how to suck eggs here, but I just want to go into something that's come up quite a lot in this one, and that's how the bouncing bomb works. So we're going to have a very basic, this is how the bouncing bomb works. Now, this isn't me trying to teach, like I said, I'm not trying to teach Granny how to suck eggs. I certainly don't want to sound condescending, but how the conversations I've had with other people of recent, they don't know how it works. As in that there's a belief of how it works, but that isn't how it works. So we'll go into a very brief, this is how the bouncing bomb works. This is the principle of it. And this is all based on a lot of people saying the bomb's spinning the wrong way. It isn't. And we'll explain why at the end of this one. But without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's get this one built, because I've been counting down the days to this. Okay, so here is everything. We get in issue 2, already rather lovely. So a similar piece to what we got in issue 1 over here and here. We've got our machine guns over here. Those are electrics. We've got our dome. Now this is different to the trial. So in the trial, you only fitted this glass and did a bit of this, but we're doing a lot more in this one. It is mad fiddly, okay? You're going to need glue as well. So it's looking a lot more air fixed than part work, this one, I'll be honest with you, because we're putting the chair together in this one. It looks crazy fiddly, but it'll be all right. So let's get into it. So these are the parts we're focusing on first. Now, they're advising to do a dry run. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? We will. Because these are small. You can see against my humongous hands how small these are. So we're going to pop that one in there like so. This one's going to go on this side. Just in there. I don't know if it's going to do a dry run, because now I'm going to hold by that glue. Yeah, do a dry run. It won't hold with that glue, but do a dry run. So that's how that one's going to go, like so. And then finally, we take this piece here, and that's going to sit in between there. We'll actually attach that when we use glue. But we're going to glue this together. So we're going to use very little glue. We're not going to use loads. Check there is a rectangular recess, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So I'm not using loads of glue. What I'm going to do is I've got this little pot here, and I'm going to use my little pin here, and I'm going to just touches on there. You don't want to slather this thing in glue. You really don't. So I'm going to get this one glued up, and we will take a look how it goes together. Okay, let's take a touch of our glue. Don't need loads. Just going to pop it on the end there. Now this is a D shape, so it should only go in one way, I hope. So we're going to get that one in. I want it in snug as well. There we go. That's our first part in. Nice and simple. Take your time, man. Take your time. This is so bloody small. Take your time. Can't stress that enough. Right, let's get the other side put in. Right, so the next thing I do, I'm going to install this piece, because they're going to have to clamp together. So this is going to slot into here, this front hole here, like so. But we're going to glue that one in place. So I'm going to put touch of glue on the end here and hold that one in. Okay, it's just a suggestion of glue on the end of it, just enough to hold it, you know. As I said, this isn't like load bearer or anything. You should go mad. This is just to hold it in place. That's all that glue is going to do. There we go. So that's how you know it should be looking. Now we're going to put the other side of this chair on. So we're going to put touch of glue on there, touch of glue on there, bring this all together. So glue on that pin there. and some glue on that pin there. There we go. This is very small fiddly work. Now it's not all going to be like this because of the size of the bloody thing, but I would imagine the cockpit is going to largely be like this. So, you know, come to peace with it early doors. And again, if you're thinking, Christ, this is too small for me, well, now's the time to back out, you know, before you get 100 issues in, and you're like, actually, because I mean, that was a complaint of the Bismarck. A lot of people are like, God, this is too small, I can't see what I'm doing. So at least now you know early doors, the sort of scale you're going to be dealing with. But they won't all be like this. I mean, this is a particularly small, fiddly part, but it's probably best you get one of these out of the way early doors. So, you know, like I said, you know exactly where you stand. So there we go. There's our chair, looking really rather lovely. That's that one done. Right, let's move on. Okay, this is the piece we want next. Our chair is going to fit inside here. Now, these 4 little recesses, we are again just going to put touch glue inside each of these recesses here, and here, just in there, and in there. There we go. Get rid of the excess. Right. Now we're going to fit our chair in, and our chair is going to be snug as hell in here, but it will go. Nice, snug. Really snug. Come on. Alright, let me get this push right down. There we go, so that's that one nice and down and in, so sitting nice and flush. Now we're going to flip this one over, and we've got some pieces to attach to the bottom. Let me get those pieces. So we fit the 2 ammunition boxes to this. Now, all that happens is they go this side over, and you can see here they have 2 pins that hold them in. Almost not particularly straight, that's bothering me. But that's how they go in. Now, if you haven't got your chair completely pushed down, this is never, ever going to hold. You're never going to get these in. So if you have problems getting these in, it's because your chair isn't all the way down. So make sure your chair is pushed all the way down so you can get these to fit in. So that's how we're now looking. Now we've got 2 more pieces to go on here and here. So let me get those ready and we will put those on. So these pieces are nice and simple. These are the spent cartridge bags, which are here and here. So we're going to place a little bit of glue on these pegs here, and that's going to hold those in place. So I'm just going to put touch glue there, not loads, touch there as well, and this will hold these in place. Right. I want these to ping off into the ether, so I'm going to use the Miata tweezers for this one. He says using his hand anyway. There we go. Whoop. Is that one on? Like so. Take this one. Place that one in. Just push that down. And then we'll let the glue do its business. But there we go. It's got cartridge bags in there. Got our ammos on. Got a chair in place. Lovely stuff. Let's move on. Now, we are working on very, very, very tiny parts here. The control levers, this one here and this one here. They're going to fit into these 2 holes here and here. And then we have this tiny control lever here that's going to fit in there. Now, I'll bring your attention to something. This is the instruction that tells us to do that. Now, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, hold on, I've not put any of that on. No, I don't know why. It's almost as if the instructions have jumped a section. So if you're looking at things, mine doesn't look like that. Well, it won't, because it tells us to do that after this. So those won't be there. So if you look at this, you're getting confused like I did. We haven't put that on yet. So I don't know why it's that stage of the instructions. So it's just a heads up in case you start getting confused. But all we're doing is putting those 2 levers in there and the control panel in there. And I got this glued in. We'll take a look. So that is how we are now looking. We've got our 2 control levers in here and here. And we've got a little control lever in there as well. Looking lovely. Going to move this to the side, and we're going to work on the machine guns next to bring out the parts that we need. Okay, so this is the parts we need next, and we need our guns. So here are our guns here, which are wired in. Now, they've got a flat side and they've got a side with a bobble on. So we want two flat sides together. That's how we want these to be, like so, to make a single machine gun, single double-barreled machine gun. And then we're going to take this piece here, and that's going to fit on like so. Probably be easier to see these one at a time, I reckon. Right, let's try that again. Put one on first. And we're going to hold this all together with a pin. So there are pins that go in either side. So we've got this pin here. Let's turn this around. So this pin is going to hold this in, so they say. Can't see it myself, but let's have a look. This is really fiddly. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't want it all to be easy, do we? This is like the anti-Iron Man when it comes to a build. This is supposed to pin in there, and I cannot see how this is going for the life of me. Nope, gonna have to have a closer look. Okay, so we got that one in. It's just me being a bit of a sap. I'm worried about breaking it, and you just need to be a bit firm and push it in. Now this is in. So you might test board this and think, I'm not seeing it work. It's nano LEDs. So watch carefully at the end. There's going to be a sound. You see? You can see it better from the side of this one. Well, you could. Before I put the wheel in, you could see it better from the side. But that is lighted up. There you go. So you see the end of it. Does light up when we press it. There we go. So that's that section done. Okay, so we're working on this piece here, and we're taking this piece here, which, what are they calling this? They're calling this the feed ducts, the ammunition feed ducts. And this is I'm gonna test fit this first, see if we actually need to glue this, because I think they've got a bit psycho on the glue on this one, if I'm honest with you. Some of these are fit so firm, I think I could have got away without using glue on that. But this is a moving part, so part of me wants to use glue, part of me doesn't want to use glue, if that makes sense. But we'll see exactly how snug this is, and then I'll make a judgment call on whether or not I'm using glue. So let's have a looky-see. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think glue seems excessive. I mean, it's your call. It's your call. I don't think you need to use glue. I think that holds firm. It's your call. Your call on that one. So it's both of those fitted now. So we got both our ammo feeds fit to the side. You can see the bullets there. It's looking great, right? That chain of bullets looking through. First I thought it was just like coloured. I'm like, it's bullets. I get it. So it's belt-fed bullets into the machine guns. Looking lovely. Looking really nice. We're going to move these to the side for now because we're moving back onto the part we were working on with our chair. So we can bring that one over. And I can show you exactly what we're doing next. Okay, so next we're working on these two holes here in front of the gun sight, and we are going to be installing our two cartridge chutes, spent cartridge chutes, and they are going to go, let's see which way around they go. Yeah, so we're going to go this way round. So let's put them in like glue first. So that's going to sit in there like so. It's not going to stay. That's where that one's going to go. I'm going to put another one next to it. So that one's going to go in there like so. It's only going to go in that way, I can see, because of the way that these pins are. These pretty much are only going to go in one way, so you can't get this wrong. So let's get those glued in. So we just spot glue on the bottom of those and then into those holes there. So that's how we're now looking with our cartridge ejectors in place. Simple enough, it's one pin down. Next thing we do is install our machine guns. So to do that, we're going to thread the wire underneath here. So we're going to go under there with the wire. So the wire is going to go under there like so. And then we're going to pop these two pins into here and here. So that's where that's going to go. So we get those plugged in and you'll take a look. So here we have our machine guns installed. I'm going to show this one here. So we've got machine guns just pop in there and they're held in place. The wire is a bit of a bugger on these because it's almost like there's not enough room for it to go in the back. So it's a bit annoying, but that's how we go. So that's how our machine guns are looking. And this is going in a turret, so that'll straighten those guns out, no problem at all. The next piece we're popping onto this is this piece here. This is going to fit along the back. This is the turret support. And this is going to fit along the back here. So we're going to get that one that way round. And it's going to pop into these holes here and here. You get that one glued up, get that installed. So here's how we're now looking. We're looking good, right? So we've got all our pieces together. Now, sadly, you're going to lose a lot of this detail because we're going to hide it behind the actual casing. So we're going to apply this one. Now, you don't glue this, they're saying. This is supposed to just pop on. We'll see about that. I've got to be careful because I don't want to bugger anything I've already attached. It's but fiddly is the order of the day on this one. There we go. So we've got that rear wall on now. Next, we're going to make the actual the glass for this. Okay, so taking our glass section here and taking this section here, we're going to fit this one in. Now, it doesn't need glue, but it's snug as hell. So we're going to have to keep moving this till we find the sweet spot where it clips in. I can feel it's not got, it looks like it's there, but it ain't. It'll make a very satisfying, there we go, clip. And then there you go. No, not quite, nearly there. Nearly there. Just keep moving it around. You'll line everything up and it will clip in. There we go, that's looking beautiful, that. Liking that. Now that's going to fit to the front, so if your machine guns are a little bit on the wonk, this is going to straighten those up a treat. But this is going to clip to the front. I don't think we need to glue this. Oh, no, we do. Glue the edge of the canopy onto frame O2C. Edge of the canopy O2C onto rear wall of O2J. So they're revising. We put a little bit of glue along here to attach it to there. So I'm actually going to put it onto the other side of it and then marry these two together. I don't want to get any glue at all on this glass. I really don't. Okay, so this is what we're now left with. Once we marry those two together, we have this rather lovely turret. It's looking nice, right? Looking real nice. We're now going to put the base piece on here. Now, we've got to thread these wires through. So we're going to take those, go through here. Oop, put both of them through. Now, what we're not going to do is glue it, because if we glue it, we have a problem later on. So, because this has got a swivel. So this is just going to sit in here. So let me get that done. And then we've got one more piece to do, and then we're done. So it's threaded through now into our base. We put the back wall on, and this just pushes down, and there's 6 pins that hold that in place. Now, you don't glue any of that, because what you want is rotation. Now, you don't have tons of rotation in this, but enough so you can see our gun will rotate. Well, our gun will rotate. But it's looking beautiful, right? It's looking really nice. So there is this stage 2 done. That was really, really tricky. Not hard. I wouldn't say it was hard. It was just fiddly, tricky. Stick with it. You know, it's very different to your normal part work. This is this felt more like a sprue kit than a part work. That's not a bad thing by any means, but this didn't feel like your generic part work. And I think that's looking lovely. That really is. All that detailing in there. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And see these light up with a little, come on, it's going to be beautiful. The ammo bags there, and it's looking nice. Looking really nice already. I think it's going to be a long time before we install this anywhere, so keep this safe. Now, we do have a lot of pieces left over with issue 2, so we've got all of this left as well, if I can show you. So all this is left over. I don't know when we're going to use that, but we're going to use it at some point, but we're not using it today. Let's have a chat. So there we have it. That's issue 2 complete. Now, what I will say for this one, fiddly. I mean, that's the word that's going to be used for it. It's very, very small parts. Now, they're not all going to be like that because of the size of this bloody model. There's no way it's all going to be like that. But when you get to the minutiae, when you do on things like the controls in the cockpit, you're going to have small parts. That's just the way it is. So it felt more like a kind of Airfix or a Revel kit. It did whilst doing that. That's what that felt like. It didn't feel like part work. I mean, we weren't screwing anything together. This felt more like a traditional sprue kit. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing when it comes to detailing. That's a good thing. We got lots of bits left over, so keep all of your bits together. Get yourself a nice box and keep these bits together, because I reckon it's going to be a long time before we install that gun. I really do. These are the what's it called? We're still on the lure me parts at this point, where they give you these big sexy parts, sort of lure you in, and then we actually get on with the main build. So in the next one, we are getting cockpit and fuselage. We're getting quite a chunk in the next one. And it'll be a very different style of build to what we've done. This is typically how this works. So when you first do one of these, the first four, which are originally the test run, this is different to the test run, but the first four give you kind of a taste of each different style of build. So you will have something metal that you screw together. You'll have a bit of electrics that you do. You'll have some small detailing that you do. And it's just kind of like, are you into this? So if you have built this one, you're thinking, I didn't enjoy that, it might be worth tapping out, because there is going to be more of that. So this is very small. This is very minute work to do. So if, like me, you've got ancient eyes, I mean, I had to, there were certain things I couldn't film because I had to literally hold it in front of my face because my eyes are buggered. You need to be aware of that. So it's like if you have problems with, say, the Bismarck, with the small detail on that one, you might have problems with this. I don't think this is anywhere near the level the Bismarck was at for detailing, but just be aware that it's not all going to be screw this together. There is going to be tiny detailing to do. But it's lovely. I think it's really nice. It looks really nice. All that detailing we kind of disguise inside the thing, but we know it's there. And if you look down into it, you can see it's there, and it's nice. You know, it's not just, oh, you can't see it, so let's not bother. We've put all that detail in. We know it's there, you know, and that's what matters. That's all for the build instructions for this one. If you are sticking around for our chat, we are going to talk very, 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 very basic about how the bouncing bomb works. So we're not going into great detail. We will go into great detail of how these bombs actually work, how they're developed and what they do. But we'll. This is just a basic principle, because having spoken to some people at work and also some of my friends over Christmas and whatnot, when I mentioned I was building this, there's a belief that a bouncing bomb works in a very different way to how it actually does. And I understand why, because when you kind of see it, you think, well, yeah, that's how that works. And it's like, well, it isn't. So what it doesn't do, what a bouncing bomb does not do, is the idea of it isn't to bounce it on the water and then it hits something and explodes. That is not what a bouncing bomb does, right? I can't stress that enough. The Barnes Wallis bouncing bomb did not do that. That was not its point. It wasn't bounce, 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 bang. That's not how this works. So what they're meant to do is skip along the water, and then just as it gets to its target, sink. So you don't want it to hit the target as such. You want it to get as close to the target as possible and then sink. So the actual bouncing bomb itself would sit right in front of the dam and then sink down to the foundations of it and then explode. It's a depth charge. So you don't want it to hit it and then explode, because all it would do is some damage, but mainly cosmetic damage to a very thick wall. However, you get down to the bottom, you can then get the full explosion. And then you can get the bubble pulse effect as well. So bubble pulse effect, again, is something we'll go into in a later issue, but it intensifies the blast. So not only do you get the blast down below, but you get a shockwave come out the surface as well. So you basically hit it twice with one bomb. You're getting 2 hits for your money. So the backspin, a lot of people when they saw the video were saying, well, the bomb's spinning the wrong way. No, it's not. That's the bomb spun backwards. Because if you see this momentum, so this is going forwards, let's say we're going that way and our bomb's spinning this way. What's going to happen is, if it's spinning forwards, is when it hits the water, it's going to take off. It's going to go bang, and it's gone, right? It's going to go way higher than you want it to go, and it's going to accelerate. That's what's going to happen. So the bomb is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger bounces. That's not what they wanted. They wanted precision. It had to be precise. So what you could risk doing is bouncing the thing over the dam, or it bouncing so high that it then slams into the water and sinks. That's not what you want. If you put backspin on it, when you drop the bomb, it starts to break, so it starts to slow down. All the speed of the carry is there, but the backspin starts to slow it down. So each bounce reduces in distance. So you get a very large bounce, then a medium bounce, and a smaller bounce, and it bounce, slows right down till it gets to its target, and then sinks. Goes down to the bottom, boom, and then you take the foundations out, you take the whole thing out, and that's how it works. That's the principle of a bouncing bomb. But I understand. I mean, you look at it and you think, well, surely you just skip it along and it hits the wall and explodes. No, that's not it at all. The whole idea of this was to bounce over torpedo nets, sink behind the nets, and blow it up. And very effective it was at doing that. Because to drop one of these things from the sky would be nigh on impossible. I mean, you'd be looking at a very small target, a very small window where you'd have to fly over the dam, which means you'd have to fly into the spotlights where they're going to see you, get close enough to it to drop the payload so it falls directly. It's nigh on impossible. However, the way they did it, they could do it from an approach, skip the bomb all the way down there, and boom. But that's how it works. So it's a depth charge. It doesn't rely on hitting the dam to explode. It's a depth charge. When it sinks to a certain depth, there's a hydromatic pistol, which again, we'll go into that in a later one, that triggers the bomb, boom, and that's how it happens. So it explodes at the right depth, right next to your target, and that's how it works. But I get it. I get when you look at it, go, well, you just bounce it into it and it explodes when it hits it. It would be effective, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as effective as the correct use of it. But that's why you have backspins. That's why when you see the video of this model and the bomb spinning backwards, it's because it's spun backwards. It's the same way as when you hit a golf ball. If you hit a golf ball, it doesn't spin forwards, it spins backwards. That's how this works. That's how curvature works. It's the same with tennis balls. You hit a tennis ball, it spins backwards. It doesn't spin forwards, it spins backwards. So that's how you do it. That's how you control the arc. So you spin it backwards, it hits the water, and it starts going that way, and it works almost like a gyroscope, so it gives you control. If it's spinning forwards, you lose all of that control. It hits the water and just takes off. That's what would happen. The thing would get way too much height. It would slam into the water and it would sink immediately. Skipping it across the water is achieved by backspin. So now you know. That is the basics of a bouncing bomb. Like, oh, there's a diagram here. This shows you exactly how a bouncing bomb would work. So I hope that makes sense, because I mean that explains why they had to be so precise on their approach with exactly when they dropped it. They had to be at the right speed, they had to be at the right altitude, and that's why. Because if it was just a case of bounce, 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 bang, you would just fire at that dam as fast as you could and drop it, boom, and off it would go. But that wouldn't be effective. It wouldn't be effective. You'd cause a lot of damage to the dam, but the dam would still be standing. Sink them, take the foundations out, whole thing comes down. That's by using the bubble pulse effect. Bubble pulse effect, I'm not going into it. There's a lot to it. I mean, a bouncing bomb seems like a very basic thing when you think about it, but it really isn't. The mathematics involved in getting that bomb to bounce the distance you want it to and stop where you want it to is genius level. It really is. It's not just skip it along when it hits the wall, it explodes. There's so much more to it. And we'll go into all of this. We'll go into all of the demo runs. We'll go into, because they tried this in Wales on a dam. We'll discuss everything. But it's not just the dam busters we'll be discussing. We'll be discussing a lot about the Lancaster Bomber as well, but other kind of the stranger weapons of war that we used from both sides as well. Because the bouncing bomb is exactly that. It's part of our great victories, if you will. But even that, I mean, this is something again we'll talk about. There is question of just how effective the dam busters were, how effective it actually was. But again, we'll talk about that later on. I personally think incredibly effective, but not for causing destruction and chaos to the Nazi war machine. I believe it had another purpose as well. And I think morale played massively into the use of of Operation Chastise, I really do. But I could talk about it all day. I won't. I've got to let you go. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel massively. And we just love having you on for the journey because we are going all the way on this one and it's going to be good. We will be back next month where we have parts 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And we've only just started out on this journey and it's an exciting one. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. But until then, chocks away, people, and I'll see you on the next one.